Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's talk about your home recording studio. Today, I'm excited about this one. This has been a long time coming. We're gonna do another season of Let's Mix. We're just gonna start a mix from scratch. We're gonna follow it through the whole kind of process and see what we end up with at the end. So the files for this one, this is kind of a new thing for me. This project was recorded by JD from recordingrebels.com, and he has very graciously given me all the stems from his project, and I'm just gonna load them into a project and just kind of take it from there. So this is really something pretty rare for me to work on a project, mixing a project where I had no part in recording or tracking or writing or composing or anything like that. These are just, this is his song, his files that he recorded at home, and he just wanted to kind of see, yeah, what would happen if I try to do one of these Let's Mix with him. There's been a whole slew of technical hurdles to overcome, so that's why I say this has been a long time in the making. This is kind of a complicated shoot here, especially considering everything I've got going on, but hopefully can capture what's happening. You can see it, and hopefully it'll be of some use to you. Let's take a look around real quick and see what all we're looking at. First, making its introduction here is FaderCam. And yeah, I know, FaderCam is upside down. I have a whole team of experts working on correcting that. So maybe FaderCam version 2, I can figure out a better camera placement. I don't know. But you know, it'll give a little bit of idea of what kind of adjustments are going on. I have no idea if this is going to be even remotely useful. I have no idea. Over here, we've got RackCam. And RackCam, just since I'm planning on using my outboard compressors, hopefully this will at least let you kind of see what's going on over here. Again, I have no idea if this is going to be even remotely useful or not, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. And I have a feeling as I start patching stuff in, it's going to get a little messy, but you know, we'll just kind of see how it goes. All right, for this one, yeah, I just want to start totally from scratch and just start a blank project. So JD shared some files with me on his Google Drive. I went and grabbed those, downloaded them, copied them into a folder on one of my local drives on my computer. And yeah, here, let's just take a look real quick. And there we go. Okay, so yeah, I've just got this kind of pile of files. So what the heck do you do when somebody just passes you a pile of files? What are we going to do with these? Well, we got to get them into a project. So let's open up Reaper. Let's open up Reaper. All right, just a new blank file here, or blank project. And actually, first, before I do anything, this is something I forget to do all the time. This makes your life easier. I'm going to Control S just right off the bat here and go to save this new project. And it's going to be here and here. The song is called It Isn't Easy. I'm going to uncheck create subdirectory since I already did that. I don't have any media to copy or move, so I'm just going to leave those and we'll save. All right. So now anything that I do, it'll all get saved into this project directory and not in some random location somewhere in the hard drive. All right, so I'm just gonna tap the insert key and yeah, here we go. So I've got all the files here, and I'm just gonna do a Control A. Whoops, Control A. I'm going to control click the RPP since that's the project file. Anything else here that doesn't belong, looks like these are all WAV files, which is good. And okay. Okay, now Reaper asks if I would rather insert them all end to end to end as a single track, or whether I would do separate tracks. I want separate tracks, so I'm just going to do that. And we kind of watch them build everything here. All right, now I'm going to go back to the beginning here. And I'm going to zoom out, and so we can see that everything, looks like the hi-hat may be a little goofy there, but so it looks like these were exported as stems because for the most part they're all the same length. So that's good. That's going to make our life easier. We won't have to line stuff up, but I'm a little worried here about what's going on with the hi-hat track. And then also this leads track, I'm not sure what's going on with it either, so we'll have to kind of figure out what's going on as we go along here. So I have a feeling we might either have a couple of corrupt or damaged files, or a couple that didn't get exported properly in the export process. So just because I am worried about this hi-hat track, let me just solo it real quick and give it a play, see what we're dealing with. Actually, I'm going to turn my volume down here. I'm going to get my headphones on. And yeah, I'm not hearing anything. Okay, so let's solo a track where it does look like there's something on it. And yeah, so I hear something on there. So yeah, it looks like our hi-hat track is dead here. That's too bad. All right, just for the sake of keeping this moving here, I have some older files that JD had passed me. It accidentally passed MP3s instead of WAV files, so I might just go retrieve one of those because it's better than nothing. And I know he's on vacation this week, so maybe next week, whenever he gets back, I can have him re-export a couple of these files, because yeah, it looks like a couple of them didn't make it quite right. I think I've got some here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so where is the hi-hat? So it is an MP3, and again, you know, mixing with MP3s is less than ideal, but it's better than not having a hi-hat in the song, so let's just open that. Yeah, there we go. He's actually got some audio on him. Let me solo this and take a quick listen. Yep, yeah, sounds like a hi-hat. Okay. All right, yeah, that'll get us through for now. And then it looked like there was another file down here that looked like it was a little damaged. One of the leads. I have a feeling, so here's lead 1, here's lead 2. If we kind of line the playhead up here, so it just looks like he was going to combine the two leads into one track, and then it kind of quit partway through the export there. So, okay. I think I'm just going to get rid of this track altogether. And let's just remove that track, because I don't think I need it. I think these two pretty much take the place of it. All right, anything else just from eyeballing it that might look out of whack, out of place? We'll organize these things a little bit better. But this is just the default order Reaper imported them. And if you take a quick look, one thing to note here, not only were they exported as stems, which is a huge favor to me, because everything's just going to line up and I don't have to go and, you know, nudge things back and forth or anything to get them lined up or figure out where little segments of files go. But also the files themselves, if we go back to our project directory here, the files themselves are named very well. So JD did a good job whenever he exported the files to maintain the file name or the track name into the file name, and that lets me know very clearly what's on each track. I don't have to guess or anything. They're very clearly labeled. This is good. And Reaper does a good job of taking the file name and creating appropriate track names for them. So this is going to make my life easier during this whole process. All right, so let's just take a quick listen to kind of hear what we're dealing with. I don't think I have anything soloed or muted. This is just straight off the press, unmixed. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's hit play. Okay. Yeah, so we got some guitar, bass, drums, little lead guitar. Okay, I like it. A little high energy. But yeah, all right. It's all pretty clean. It's all pretty clear. Nothing to complain about here. So, all right, let's do a couple of kind of preparatory things here for the mix before we really get started. So, one thing we're probably gonna, I know that I'm gonna want to add some markers at one point or another, and those markers are tied to the structure of the song, and the structure of the song is really closely tied to the tempo of the song. What if you don't know the tempo of the song? How do you find that out? Let's find that out real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take the kick. I'm gonna move it all the way to the top, since I know I'm going to want it up there anyways. There's a snare. I'm going to move him up to the top right underneath the kick. All right, I'm going to go back to the first of the project. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. First of the project, and I'm going to zoom in until I can start to see the individual hits here. And just from that little listen there, you know, it's kind of a fast tempo, and also it sounds like it's in 4/4. You know, it's boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop. I mean, that sounds 4/4 to me. So knowing that in most 4/4 Western kind of rock music, the kick is usually on 1, the snare is on 2, the kick is on 3, the snare is on 4. So we can kind of use that. So let's see if we can kind of eyeball a bit of a rhythm here. So let's make those tracks a little bit bigger. And so I'm going to assume that, here, let me take snap off so I can click anywhere I want without being tied to a beat. And yeah, like right about there. And let's zoom in. And yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks like right at that first kick. So I'm going to assume that that's beat 1. So I'm just going to do a little counting and say 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe somewhere in there, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then I assume that somewhere between these two kicks is where the next measure starts. So I'm going to assume maybe right there. So I'm just going to make a selection out of all that. And then I've created a custom button up here. If I hover, you can see it says Set Project Tempo from Time Selection, and that's Detect Tempo. You can find this yourself and up in the Actions menu and Show Action List. And you can dig around there and find that if you care. But I'm going to click that button, and let's see what it comes up with. So it came up with 85, about 85 BPM as the tempo. Now, listening back to that, that didn't sound like 85 beats per minute to me. That sounded like twice that, right? So so at 85, so let's just double what it came up with. 85 times 2, that's about 170. So let's call it 170. Oh, and once I do that, as you can see, it stretches the audio to match. And now let me just hit play and you can hear what I mean. Right, so it changed the tempo. It stretched the audio, or it actually kind of compressed the audio along the timeline. So to keep it from doing that, if we go up to File and Project Settings, and by default this field that is time-based for items, envelopes, markers, by default it's set to beats. So instead let's change it to time. And now we say OK. And now let's change our BPM to 170. And now let's give it a play and hear what it sounds like. All right, yeah, so it didn't stretch the audio. I don't know if you noticed whenever I changed the BPM, the timeline up here, the very top stretched, but the audio did not. So that's what we want here. If we're gonna already have recorded files and then fiddle with the tempo, that's the way you wanna do it. Otherwise it's gonna stretch or compress your files along the timeline, which is really annoying. Okay, we got our files added. We got the tempo set for the project. I think now I'm just going to make a quick pass through and put some markers in place. Here, I'll show you the first one or two just to see how to do it, and then I'll just kind of forward through the rest of them because it's really boring to watch. Okay, what I'm going to do now that we have the tempo set, now I'm going to turn snap back on, and now every time I click I'm going to be tied to a beat. So I'm going to click on the first beat. I'm going to press M for a marker, and you can see that adds this little marker up here. I'm going to double click on it, and that allows me to type in a name. And so I'm just going to call this intro. So there, cool. So now I have a little visual marker to show me, okay, that's where the intro of the song is. Okay, a little more kind of organizational things. I'm going to organize the tracks and kind of scoot things up and down. I'm going to get the drums all scooted together at the top, then the bass, then the guitars, then the vocals after that. So 1 minute while I do that. All right, so I think I got all the markers set here. And yeah, there we go. Got an intro, verse, verse part 2. I'm not exactly sure what to call that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think I got all the pieces of the song mapped out here. That's going to come in handy, you know, if I start doing anything with automation or anything like that. Okay, we got our files imported. We got our tempo set. We got some markers set. We got the tracks kind of arranged how we like it. I might end up doing, you know, a couple more folders here and there, but I think for the most part, This project is set up, ready to go, and I think we're pretty much ready to rock here. In this one here, and we'll pick up in the next episode, and we'll just do a rough mix and just get some panning and levels set and have a good foundation to work on from there on. All right, I'll see you next time.